Welcome to Alternative Investments Chat,
where we demystify the world of alternative investments and financing for entrepreneurs and investors alike.
With these discussions, we hope you're more empowered to unlock opportunities in your business or portfolio. I'm Erin.
And I'm Erica. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Alternative Investments Chat. So today we are talking about one of the most important, probably, if I'm being honest, not a very sexy part of investing, but it is my favorite, betting, aka due diligence.
Yeah.
So, or for our listeners out there, we like to call this how to make sure you don't accidentally fund a Nigerian prince's yacht.
Yeah. That's a good thing to try to avoid, I would say.
Don't read those emails.
Yeah. We are going to tackle how to vet an alternative investment without paying a giant firm to do it for you, which, of course, we do suggest working with an advisor. But if you must trek on this adventure alone, which, again, we do not advise, and we are not advisors.
Yeah, there we go.
Mind you. But if you want to do that, you don't necessarily need to bring a Wall Street guy in tow to tell you that something's fishy. You can use your spidey senses.
There you go.
Or fishy senses.
Maybe.
Not sure how that would work. But
your gills.
Your gills. You should be able to use some of your own, knowledge, internal things to figure out, maybe I'm getting scammed.
Yep.
So you've got Google, maybe you've got common sense. We can work on that.
Yep.
And you do have this podcast.
Yeah.
So today we're going to break down what to look for, the red flags to avoid, and some practical steps that you can take before ever wiring a single dollar.
Yeah, don't do it until you get it all done, right? Mm-hmm. So before we dive actually into the steps, I think we should probably define what we actually mean by that fancy word vetting. So the verb to vet has its origins in 19th century British slang. So a horse was thoroughly vetted by a veterinarian before being allowed to race. So a patient undergoing an examination could be said to be vetted by a medical doctor. So in modern business usage, however, vetting has come to mean the process of examining a person or company for soundness and integrity.
So no horses?
No horses. We talk about horses a lot on our podcast.
Yeah, it's
really
amazing
we
how
need to buy one.
Quickly that comes up. I'm not beating the horse girl allegations. Sorry, as my husband would tell me.
That's hilarious.
So vetting can vary very greatly depending on the context, but generally they follow a set pattern of steps to ensure that a thorough investigation is actually conducted.
Right.
Horse or not.
The
vetting process is not confined to just one industry either, right? It plays a critical role in various fields. Have you ever had a background check done for a job, perhaps? That is a form of vetting for employers. One of the most common uses of vetting is hiring that's used in hiring employees, right? You want to see, is there any obvious red flags with this person? They seem great. Oh, well, they've just been released from jail on a murder charge of their boss. Maybe I don't want to hire them because I don't want to be murdered.
You don't want to be the boss, the second boss that gets murdered?
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that. So this process ensures that a candidate is who they claim to be and hopefully possesses the skills and experience that they say they have and that is required for the role. Especially in leadership roles, vetting becomes a crucial step to ensure a candidate is the right fit for a job. You don't want to get somebody in a leadership role who, guess what, has never done any of the things that are required.
Yeah, just because it's written on paper doesn't mean that that's true, right?
Yeah.
And you and I have had a lot of vetting of employees in our previous lives for other companies. I mean, I think I've seen tons of background checks, and some of them are personality tests and all kinds of stuff. So it's there. That's definitely out there. It's not just for vetting alternative investments. It's definitely used a lot of other places. So when it does come to vetting investments, the process is commonly referred to as due diligence, however. So you've heard us say it time and time again, and we're going to go ahead and continue to say it today. Due your research, please. Now, for those of you who are sitting at home and yelling at your phone as you're listening to us and saying, yes, I'm well aware, but how do I actually do that due diligence?
Yeah, great question.
Well, we're going to break it down nice and easy for you today. So step one, what I like to call the vibe check. Who the heck are these people?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you guys? Get to know who's behind the investment. Are they real people? Do they have a link? I hope so.
If they were ghosts, that'd be really scary.
I might still invest. Do they have LinkedIn profiles? Were those profiles magically created yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Do their headshots look like they were stolen from a stock photo website?
Mm-hmm.
Or nowadays AI, which sometimes is check the hands.
Yeah, check the hands.
If yes, this is a huge red flag.
Yep.
Also check FINRA's broker check or the SEC's database for any people involved in an investment, right?
Yep, absolutely. That brings us to step number 2, which is the paper trail.
Yeah.
Now that we have stalked, I guess researched, but let's be honest, stalked.
Yeah.
The people behind the investment, it's time to actually take a look at the documents. Basic paperwork includes their private placement memorandums, which is the PPM. They're offering docs or even a basic pitch deck, right? They might be giving you some documents to tell you what actually their offering is. If you can't find any of these documents or they look weird, run away.
Yeah.
You need to actually check the documents. Don't just accept the file and say, yay, they gave me something.
Yeah.
If the language is super vague or reads like, a little kid telling you a disjointed story, and
when I went outside
dream,
and if it has lots of ums in their PPM, maybe that's not.
Is not a very good literary device, I would say. So maybe let's move on from that. Step 3 here, we've got the money math. If the math ain't mathin', then we're not going to do it. This is finally where you can pull out your algebra skills. And you said, not you, the collective you, meaning all of us, said, when am I ever going to use this again? And the answer is now. The question, how does this investment actually make money? If you can't explain it in a very easy way, perhaps to your grandmother in 2 sentences, and you're, she's like, what are you doing, Sonny? And you're like, well, I'm investing in this. How does it work? If you can't explain it to her, maybe, again, we should not do that.
Yep.
And if it only works if everything goes perfectly well, that's basically the investment equivalent of Jenga, you know?
I like Jenga. Be nice.
I like Jenga too.
I really like the huge versions that they have at like bars.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily bars, but like when the restaurants have like that outside area where you have like
a bit of a safety hazard.
Yeah.
That thing falls on your foot. Ouch.
But I'm an expert player. I never fall. It never falls when I'm playing. Okay. So if anyone wants me to be on their team, I am here and available.
All right.
So we've got step 4, which is the Google test. You know how I like to use the Google. Type a company's name plus words like lawsuit, fraud, spam, or spam too, or scam. If more hits come up for that than Taylor Swift's Easter eggs, maybe keep your wallet closed.
Yeah.
These are free tools to use at your fingertips. You should definitely use them.
Yeah,
Speaking of Taylor Swift's Easter eggs, what's your favorite one?
I wouldn't even know one if it hit me in the face.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're not a Swiftie.
No.
And funnily enough, neither am I. But I did Google some of her Easter eggs for this.
There you go.
For this episode, which is hilarious. We talk about Taylor Swift often on this podcast, but that's mainly because of music royalties. And
she's an important person in the zeitgeist. So
there we go. So don't come at us, Swifties.
Yeah.
We're adding her, but that's because we know you guys listen, right?
She's a marketing genius. I'll give her that.
Right. So we've got one last step in this process, and that's the gut check. You mentioned it earlier. Your little bit of your insides, not your gut like you're upset. So my tummy hurts. If you completed your research and something still feels off, don't ignore that.
Right.
Okay. Humans have survived for thousands of years by trusting their instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not all of you. There was that time where all you weirdos were eating Tide Pods, but
yeah, that was not a good time.
I think you catch my drift.
Tasted really bad.
Did you eat one?
No, of course not.
I was gonna have to walk
It's a
off the
joke.
stage if you ate one here.
But
No, gross.
yeah.
I don't. I mean, they're gushy, but I like gummies, so I'm not gummy bears and stuff. I don't want to eat a Tide Pod. So anyway, if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. So
Yeah.
just keep that. If it starts to tingle, feel funky, you might want to look into it again.
Yeah, or go to the bathroom. But we'll leave that for you to figure out.
Right.
So that's our quick breakdown of vetting and investment all on your own. If you must, if you want to venture into the forest alone, which again,
Yes.
I do not recommend.
Stay out of the forest.
Yeah, but if you're wanting to be a hero or something, have fun. Now we wouldn't be staying true to what we are constantly preaching if we don't dig in a little bit deeper into the pros and cons of doing this on your own.
Right.
Having all the information is only going to help you in your decision making. So let's get some more information.
All right.
Pro number 1 of doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Let's start with the obvious when you save money.
Right.
Which is a big factor of why people
DIY them.
DIY anything. Your wedding, your house, whatever. So you don't have a fancy wealth advisor that's charging you fees, and somehow that adds up to what would be the equivalent of a rent payment.
Yeah.
Or, when you DIY your vetting, the only thing you're spending is your time. So it costs you labor, and maybe a little slice of your sanity. It's stressful.
We're all a little crazy, so it's fine.
Yeah. Pro number 2, doing your own vetting actually forces you to learn, or you would hope it does.
Right.
You start to understand the deal structures, terms like preferred equity, and why everyone is pretending to know what IRR means. And if you don't, it's
Internal
only a
rate
Google
of return
search away. You will gain real skills. Hopefully, you'll learn more about what you're actually investing in.
Yeah.
You can learn how to spot red flags in a pitch deck, or realizing that, the dreaded G word, guaranteed returns, is just code for don't walk but run away from this deal.
Run fast.
Yes.
Run like Forrest.
Run like Forrest. This kind of research can help you level up faster, learn more, and hopefully help you in your next investments as you move on.
Yeah.
Pro number 3, when you're doing your own research, you actually control the pace, right? You're not waiting on someone else's assistant to get things back to you, to answer questions, and get that to you sometime next week.
Yeah.
The circle back.
Yeah.
Hate to circle back.
No.
And I do it.
Yeah.
I go circling back.
And I'm the checker in. Checking
in.
Any news?
Bumping this for you.
Yeah.
You decide when you want to dig in, and you can get things done. You're your own boss.
Well, who doesn't like being their own boss?
BYOB, but be your own boss.
Be your own boss. I like being my own boss. You
Yeah.
get to make your own schedule.
Yeah.
And do whatever you want.
Yeah, people like that.
Okay. Well, you sound like you don't like that. You don't want to be your own boss?
My parents are their own bosses, and it honestly looks like a lot of work. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, I like being the boss. But that's okay. So now it's time to discuss that flip side. We talked about all the pros. Let's dig into the cons. So con number 1, without professional tools or industry experience, you might miss something huge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like a sketchy fund structure, or the fact that the CEO's last company just quietly vanished,
Disappeared.
away,
Yeah.
because of bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, this is not your fault. These things are designed to be confusing. A lot of these deals are. So private offering docs are basically 60 pages of please don't sue us. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like reading what I like to think of IKEA instructions for your money.
Yeah.
If you and your partner can put together IKEA furniture, you are soulmates. I
love putting together IKEA furniture. You can hire me.
I like to do it. I just like to do it by myself.
Oh, I'm good.
Unless I need somebody to help hold something.
Yeah.
And then I want you to be quiet.
Andrew and I, pros.
I love this. This is why. Okay, con number 2. So when you're excited about a deal, your brain turns into an overenthusiastic golden retriever. Everything looks amazing and shiny and bright, and you want to believe it's all going to work.
Mhm.
So vetting something yourself means you might overlook warning signs because you want it to be a winner. We talk,
Right.
Again, tune into our episode on how emotions play a role in investing to learn more about this,
Mhm.
because you don't want to say you made a whoopsie, right?
Yeah.
You want to see all the good, and that might not be good for you. Con number 3. Finally, DIY vetting takes time, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hours of research, background checks, cross-referencing data, asking awkward questions.
Mhm. Which is why you pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's
That's why
kind
it
of like,
costs money.
exactly. It's kind of like starting dating all over again, but asking for their financial statements instead of looking for the red flags on their Bumble
Yeah.
account. You
Which
know what I mean?
generally is not suggested on your first date.
No.
Shouldn't say open your bank account.
Open your bank account. Show me the money.
Yeah.
So if you've got a full-time job, a family, or literally any hobbies, this could be adding a lot onto your plate.
Yeah.
And you're most likely going to need a lot of caffeine, patience, and maybe a therapist to work through all of this.
Yeah.
If you're, I picture someone crouched over with papers all over the desk and then a board behind them with red string and all the things, and you're like, okay, this is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
A little too much.
Yep. You can bring in the professionals at any time.
Exactly.
So with that information that's, swirling around in your brain and our brains,
Yeah.
this brings us to the end of the episode. So to recap, we gave you 5 DIY due diligence hacks.
Yep.
Check the people, check the paperwork, check the math, check Google, and check your gut.
You're right.
And I don't mean get a colonoscopy.
You and your stomach things today. I like it.
It's there. It's easy. It's low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry, I'm taking it. But is this going to make your strategy and your portfolio bulletproof? No, not
Right.
at all. But it should potentially save you from about half of the shady deals out there that are like obvious red flags, so you could pass on them.
Yeah. So the real questions that we're all thinking: should I vet and invest it by myself? Should I do this? I would say if you're really curious, disciplined, okay with a little detective work, then yeah, maybe give it a shot. But just remember that the goal is to make smart choices, not become the next casualty, or the cautionary tale on, Reddit thread where everyone's
Yeah.
making fun of you, or
Yeah, I was
or
like,
there's a-
casualty? Oh my God, someone died?
casualty. It is you.
Yeah,
If you mess
it's-
up that much, you might end up being a casualty. You know?
Yeah.
No, we don't want anyone
Ruined.
telling your story later on and saying this silly
Don't
person.
do this. Yeah, exactly. Well,
No.
until next time, it's good to stay skeptical and
Yeah.
remember that your best investment tool is your common sense.
Yep.
That's right. Bye. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for more insight on our next episode.
And don't forget to subscribe to continue the alternative investments chat.
See you next time.
Content provided in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as professional, financial, or investment advice. This podcast should not be construed as an offer to sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy any securities. We strongly recommend that you seek advice from a qualified professional before making any financial decisions.